Good morning. It's still morning. It's not noon yet. Hi, everyone. How is everyone doing today? It is Friday. Relatively good. It's breakfast time for Lunar. Noah's tired. I'm sorry, Noah. I know you didn't get much sleep. Let me flip this now that it's dry. I still have to do the brown down here, but maybe I'll do that before I stop streaming. I think I need to tilt my easel back a little bit, because, like, that normally doesn't happen. James is about to have some breakfast. Did I eat? I didn't eat. That's fine. I had coffee. I'll have something at some point. I had a big dinner, and I'm still kind of full from it. Every so often, this chair becomes unlocked, like, without me doing anything, and I lean back, and the whole thing just rocks. Steven says, you didn't eat? No, Steven, I didn't. We had a large dinner. I'm very full. Lunar says, you need to eat a little something. Well, when Steven gets up, he can bring me a cranberry almond cheese thing. And we had a hype train during the countdown. There. It is chilly in this room this morning because I had the door shut all night. Steven says Mallory does this thing where she doesn't eat and then feels awful and can't figure out why. Yeah. Because I'm not hungry. Alright, this palette from yesterday that has the blue and the tan, I'm putting aside. Because I want to keep those colors. And we're going to switch to a different palette. We'll switch to the gray one. Everyone says mood. Yeah. For a lot of my life, I struggled with, am I sick or am I hungry? That doesn't happen anymore. Now I'm just not hungry. And then I'm like, oh, I need to eat. So I think I learned to ignore hunger feelings. So as I've been saying yesterday and Tuesday when I started this painting, I picked a large canvas, and that means I have to paint a lot. And if I don't paint more often than once a week, it's going to take absolutely forever to finish this. So my thought is, like, every few days or whatever, when my schedule allows based on things, I'll just go live and paint, like, an object. So today's goal is to paint the cup and the orange slice. That's the hope, at least. Or at least I'm thinking orange. That's kind of my thought right now. But, like, I also thought, like, green, because this is green, and this is green, so it would kind of echo green all the way around. But this is the thing I'm doing first, so I have to decide and then live with that consequence. So this palette is full of paint from that bridge painting I did. So it's sat here since, like, I don't know, September? Early September? August, maybe? So I'm going to just spray it down and then let it sit for a few minutes. Maybe I'll have Steven fill the spray bottle, too. Put that there. We have a subscription from Prince Bubblegum. Welcome. That was at 6 this morning. We have a 7-month resub from James EP, 9 months from Tachi Gamer 96, 8 months from Darkness Bride, and Steven is at 9 months, which I saw was a gift sub from Dishnet. So thank you for that, Dishnet, and thank you everyone else for subbing. And doing an early hype train on a Friday morning. Tachi says, I struggle with, am I hungry or am I just bored? That was something I struggled with for a good portion of my life, too. Like, early 20s. I should have just painted the kiwi bigger. I should have vagabond. It would have been massive kiwi. It's already quite large because like kiwis aren't this big compared to avocados. And the pineapple I think could be bigger. It's just a small pineapple. Last night I hung up waterfall lights in my office, and it took a long while to do that. Small pineapple, large kiwi. Is this on right? That made a noise. So yesterday, if you remember, I got a package during stream and I had to go get it because I knew it was cold. So I put it in the fridge downstairs, and Noah had sent us cheesesteaks from Philly, and we had one each last night, and they were like deceptively small. Like, I don't know, I kind of expected them to be a bit bigger, and I was like, oh, let's just eat one and then we'll see how we feel. We can always have like chips and salsa or something with it. And I got through most of my sandwich and I was like, oh my God, this was so much food. But I finished it anyway. And then we went to bed shortly after and I was like, oh, I'm so full. And I was full all night. And I woke up and I'm like, oh, that was a lot. They were delicious. It's not something I normally order. I like everything in them and I like them a lot. It's just, I normally pick like a French dip if I'm gonna pick a sandwich out. And there's not really Philly cheesesteak places in Raleigh. But they were delicious. Midnight Lunacy says Campos is top tier. Yeah, they were from Campos and they were very good. Sorry, you're gonna have to listen to me scrape this palette. I apologize. I hadn't thought about that ahead of time. But yes, Noah, we appreciated that. You did not have to do that. But they were very good and we did enjoy them. This is really on here. Noah says, I told Mal that I normally send steaks from gyms, but they burned down and they are rebuilding. So I did it anyway. Yeah, I know. I can't send it back. I'm trying to peel some of this so I don't have to scrape as much. But the paint on this palette is very thin. And it's really adhered to this. So I might spray down the other one. And because I have 3, like I showed off on Tuesday. And get that one soaking because this is... I mean, I can do it. I just know the noise is terrible. So like my other thought is to mute my mic for all of 2 minutes so I can do this. Scrape up all the dry? Yeah, it is quite dry. See, I'm peeling off the paint chunks. So what I did is I went and I saved a photo of a tropical drink on my phone. And it's all like yellow, so like it's blended. It's not like a clear drink. So like the bottom is kind of like yellowy and then it gets into kind of like this white foam ice creamy look up top. So if I do that, then I could do this a lemon slice. So it would be like yellows. Or I could make it more orange. A frozen pina colada. Yeah, I could do that. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking yellow or orange drink. And I can go either. Like, I can just mentally take this yellow drink and make it orange in my head. I don't know. Thoughts? But orange? Yeah, that's... Also, why did my photos not transfer from my phone? I'm gonna have to do that. Vagabond says, save the drink for last because it can be any color. See, the problem with that is I have to paint down here. And if I have the pomegranate done and the coconut done and the kiwi done, then I have to be careful. And I don't like doing that. I don't like painting that way. Being careful is hard, Break All the Pot says, yeah. We have a subscription from Rachy Girl 6. Welcome. Good morning. Okay, I'm going to mute for all of a minute and scrape this palette so it's not terrible and it'll be done faster. There, it done. Now I just have to clean up all these paint scraps. See, they're all dry. Well, they're wet, but they're like dried paint. A gradient would be cool, Vagabond says. Like what? Like orange and yellow? Or like, I can't think of what a Mai Tai looks like. I order basically the same thing every time I go out, or like a variety of 3 different things. Hear me out. Rainbow drink? That seems like the layering would get complicated. The color changing gin? I do like the color changing gin. It's pretty. Did I? Yeah, I did get all that off. See, all clean. I was talking yesterday about this palette. Like, I like this one because it has gray, so you can see the colors a bit more true. But I don't like these rubber bumpers because they just get paint on them and then like it's permanently there forever. I don't think oil painters have this problem with this palette. I think it's just acrylic painters who have this problem with this palette. Where's my phone so it's easier to type? Let's see, Vagabond's giving me drink ideas for this drink. Orange to purple like a sunset fits the tropical vibe. I kind of like that Toad Link. So one of the drinks I like to make is a, God, what's it called? I don't know. It's grapefruit juice and the color changing gin, which is pinkish to purple. I'm just looking at different drink colors to decide what I want to do. Because this is going to be like the deep red because it's a pomegranate. I do kind of like yellow. I think I'm going to stick with yellow because it's going to pull some of this yellow, I think, and be a good balance. And I could make it slightly... warmer, because then it would match this. Vagabond says, whatever you decide, I'll try to make it. I had an orange drink saved on my phone, but for some reason it didn't transfer. Actually, it did transfer. It just went to the very bottom of my list. The thing I found looks like a mimosa slushie to me. Oh no, I dropped a thing that was important. Now it is underneath a cart. Oops. Alright, let's clean up my table a little bit. Oh no, don't flip over. I need to know what color you are. I can put the pink away from our underpainting. I have brushes I cleaned off and don't need anymore. Still need Steven to fill that when he gets up here. Alright, let's think about brushes first, because those aren't going to dry out on me. So when I'm looking at brushes, I have them sorted kind of by size, not by shape. And then I also have them sorted by handle length, because these are all short handle brushes. Like they're this long, versus something like this, which is a long handle brush. Red at the bottom and orange yellow at the top. Is there something with, no, red at the top would look weird, I think. I think I'm gonna stick with this blended orange drink thing. The slushy orange thing that I found. I don't know what it is. I just looked at pictures. I was more concerned about the look of it than like what was in it. So I think I want an angled brush because I can get more into some of these spaces a bit easier. So I think this is good for the cup. Broken Physics says that the underpainting is basically the skeleton as the rest is painting on the skin, right? In a way, yeah, you can think of it that way. It's going to influence the final of everything because you're going to see some of this blue and pink through, and it's going to influence the color. So like one way to think about that is if, actually it is this way. So the greenery things, the things that are green, because it is a red, which is, I mean, it's pink, but it's like the complement of green. So the green is going to be a bit more dull, but anything that is red with this red undertone is really going to pop. And like the coconut's going to kind of have this like tropical feel underneath it because you're going to still kind of get some of that influence from these colors. Tequila Sunrise? Let me look at what those look like. My brain is not fast enough this morning to pull up mental images of things. The other reason I want to do like a frozen drink is because, yeah, that's what a Tequila Sunrise looks like, is because then I don't have to draw ice cubes or like the back of the cup. So let's see. I need something for this orange. I can continue using that, but I need some detail brushes. What is this, a filbert? Here's a nice little flat. And I probably need something pointy. Do I have any good small pointy brushes in here? There's a small angle. Yes. Small round. Steven says, think smarter, not harder for sure. Yeah, it'd be different if I had like made up this scene and taken a photo of it and I could like look at where ice cubes were instead of working off the top of my head. Alright, we have some brushes. Steven, when you come up, I need you to fill this. So I'm going to toss it towards the doorway. I never did empty my water out last night, but it's only a little purple. It's not too bad. It's actually transparent still, which is surprising that I didn't have to wash my brush that much for these things. All right, I want to do the cup first. I need to mirror this image because the light's coming from the opposite way. That's better. Also, if I do kind of more of a yellow-orange, it's going to mirror the pineapple. Shoot. Yeah, we're going orange. Let's adjust this color so it looks oranger. That's better. We're doing that. All right, let's look at our paint colors. Not you. All right, so I have Pyrrole Orange, which is good. You are an orange or yellow. And let's pull magenta and yellow so I have them. What else do I want? I will need blue probably. How do I want to do the shadow? Ultramarine. Hi.
Hi, I'm going to fill this with water.
Yes.
And then, is there anything in particular you'd like as a snack?
A fruit nut pack, almond one.
Okay.
When you do that, it's just like a quarter turn. It's not a screw.
This thing?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What was I grabbing? White. And grab titanium and zinc. Ooh, this is a paint color I don't know how to pronounce because I don't normally use it and I got it on clearance. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say it either. Ooh, that's exciting. So I'm using ultramarine blue, which is going to mix into my color to be my shadow because it's going to tone down the intensity and darken it up a little bit. I have primary yellow and primary magenta because these are cheaper paints than the ones I have right here that I'm also going to be using. So I like to try and use those paints over like the higher series ones. So I have Pyrrole and then this is a Y, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know how this is pronounced. Diarlide? D-I-A-R-Y-L-I-D-E. I've never heard anyone say it. But I would recognize it as, you know, the pigment that is in this paint when I see it spelled out. Get Steven to say it? He's good at that. And then I have titanium white and zinc white, which is my opaque and transparent whites. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up a handful of colors that I see in this image that I've really pushed the color to wrong color. And then we're going to start painting. So our highlight is here. So we're going to start with kind of some light yellows and we'll go into more intense oranges back here. And because this has the blue on it, it's going to tone those down already. But I have more ultramarine out if I need to bring that intensity down more. So that's going to kind of be it. We're going to kind of put a base of that little bit of a gradient down, bringing some of the more orange colors down into here and keeping the yellow colors here. And then we'll do the highlights on the glass. And I want to do the glass before the orange only because when I'm doing this, I'm going to be painting this way. So it's going to get up onto this orange. And that's easier to paint the orange after and kind of like clean up these lines. There's Kepler hair on me. Get Steven to say it when he comes back.
Here you go.
Thank you for the spray bottle. Can you pronounce this for me?
Pronounce this?
How you pronounce? I've never heard it said.
Diarylide?
That's what Broken Physics said.
I would
Who looked it up?
I would
Diarylide.
I would pronounce it diarylide.
Broken Physics says diarylid.
Oh. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's plenty of words in the English language that end in E and the E is silent. The I gets the short sounds, so
Yeah.
derelict would be reasonable.
Before I get paint out, I'm gonna have my snack.
Probably a good
Yeah.
plan, unless you wanted painted cheese.
And I don't.
Yeah.
Noah says it sounds like a medication.
We're prescribing you yellow. It's the brand name for Diarylit.
These almonds are good.
If you end up needing anything else, just holler.
Okay. See what I did?
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
You did that on your own.
I did that on my own.
I was watching the stream and I was thinking, now if there's any stuff I need to do the thing. Did you change?
Mm-hmm.
So you turned Wi-Fi off?
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't?
But it's higher on the list.
I mean, it's lower on the list.
No.
Wi-Fi's higher on the list?
Well, when I pulled up the Wi-Fi settings, it was at the top for Ethernet.
What, Ethernet? Sorry, I'm trying to understand. Ethernet is above Wi-Fi in the network? Then it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So it prioritizes Ethernet and then drops to Wi-Fi if you need it. Wow, that was really smart.
I need a shorter Ethernet cable.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is if you want to have
I think this is the 100-foot one.
Oh, Jesus. If you want, I mean, we can also order a specific size and wire it around the room.
Yeah. See, the thing was, is I went and looked in the pile of cables, and I only found one, and it was the big one.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. Yeah, I'm very glad that you did that, because whenever I woke up and I saw that you were streaming, I was like, oh, that's the one thing I wanted to do, but you did it.
I did do it. I did not set my go live message.
Oh, well, there's many moving parts, and as you do it more autonomously, then you'll be good. Because folks don't know that, like, today's stream is the first stream ever that you, like, did yourself. Like, every other time I'm a part of, like, the hardware and the software and the reminders for things. So, like...
No, Brandon, I'm not eating the paint.
So you did really good today. Especially remembering the Ethernet. That's really good. Okay. Well, I'm gonna eat some breakfast or whatever time it is. I didn't sleep super great. Which is why I'm up at 11. I'm gonna eat something and then go back to editing.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Love you.
Will you take Kepler?
Kepi, you want to come with me? You want to be a statue? No, I won't come with you, Dad. Okay, come on.
He just walked. Bye.
Bye.
Brandon says, our Lord and Savior, Kirkland signature fruit, cheese, and nut pack. Brandon, you'll never guess what happened. I was streaming and Steven's like, did you eat? And I was like, no. He's like, you should eat. So he brought me the thing that I always eat when I forget to eat. Alright, let's start mixing up some colors. Because I threw some almonds in my mouth. And cranberries. So I have this tiny, the laptop IKEA stand, the glass one that they sell, that's like, I don't know, 20 bucks or something. That's what I have everything on. So I have my 3 water containers, my water bottle, paint, a palette, my stream deck. Everything is on this tiny table. So I quickly ran out of room. And it was fine when I didn't have the stream deck and everything else. But I realized on Tuesday after streaming that I don't have any room, and that's not great. So I actually ordered a bigger table, and it's supposed to get here today. It's out for delivery, and on UPS you can do the tracking sometimes. So like, oh, where's the desk? And it was like, driver's actually up the street, so I looked up the street, and I was like, there it is. And it still hasn't gotten delivered yet. So that is something I will be doing this afternoon, is setting that up without moving any of this other equipment. And I know you can't see more than this, but there's not a lot of room right here. Broken Physics says Diarylid pigments are often yellow or yellow-green. Yellows are most commonly used in printing and other applications. Very cool. There's been a few different things I've read about like pigments and like historical colors, which are really fascinating. So back in the day, and I think this practice was outlawed like in the 40s. I don't actually know when it was stopped, but they used to use like they would buy mummies from Egypt and like grind them up into pigments, and it was called mummy brown. They don't do that anymore. So like over time, colors get pulled and you don't have them anymore. So like mummy brown is the one I can think of offhand. There was a green that they used to put in wallpaper, and it turns out I think it was arsenic. It was something, but like kids were like apparently licking wallpaper and having problems. So that got outlawed. Sometimes pigments are just, you run low on supply, like there's only so many mummies from ancient Egypt. I have nowhere to put this tube of paint. Broken Physics says, I watched YouTuber talk about several banned colors that can now be recreated with safer materials. So one of the things, I need my open medium. There you are. That I have is I have two different versions of cadmium. Let me see. Here's one. And here's the other. So the way Golden does it, like these are cadmium. These are both cadmium red. Are they both cadmium red medium? They are. So cadmium is a heavy metal, which is not good. So if I'm using these, I definitely would not have food in here and my water would be away. And I would be washing my hands a lot and washing everything else. So this one is CP cadmium red medium, and this one is cadmium red medium hue. So the CP and the hue are the terms Golden uses to not detonate. That's not the word. Anyway, that's how they tell you what it is. So the CP is cadmium pigment. So this one is the true cadmium. So this one is the one that is not great. So it is a heavy metal, not great. This one is the hue, so it's made with fake things to look as close to the actual cadmium as possible. Indicate, thank you. So on the back, Golden always puts like the information. So it says in the hue paint that it's made with naphthol red light and naphthol red medium. So that's the difference between these. This one is a lot cheaper than the pure cadmium too. So yeah, there's cadmium. That's one of them. So if you ever see hue on a Golden paint, like sap green hue, this is not sap green anymore. It's made with, see, phthalo green yellow shade, red oxide, carbon black, and nickel azo. So it's a hue. It's made with other colors to look like a historical color. So like Hooker's green is a hue. Like, I don't have it, but there's one that's called like historical smalt, I think. And it's made with smalt. Well, it's not because it's a hue, but like smalt was crushed up blue glass. So things have been changed over time. So I think I said yesterday, one of the things I've noticed is red acrylic paint dries a lot faster than all my other colors. So I just put some open medium into this primary magenta and like it's already chunky. Like, let's add a little bit more. Just says, is it noticeably different? So one of my sketchbooks, I can see it. I I did a sample of that actually because I have cadmium yellow and cadmium yellow hue as well. That's much better. Not as chunky anymore. Bye, ruler. Broken Physics says Paris green, also called emerald green, used to be made with arsenic. Yes. That's what it was. It was that color. Let me grab my sketchbook. The old sketchbook. I have to spin this way. In one of these sketchbooks, I have a sample that I did. I don't think it's this one. Nope, this is the newer one. Let's try this one. Not that one either. Let's try this one. There it is. All right. Here's my sample that I did a million years ago. And you can really see it now. Wow, I don't feel like when I did it at the time you could tell the difference. So this is Cad Red Pure, and then this is the hue on top of a neutral gray. And this is Cad Yellow hue, and this is cadmium, true cadmium yellow. And then here it is just over white. Just on plain white paper. So you can kind of see, like this is like school bussy, like it's warmer, and this is like more lemony. And between these, the cadmium red, like the true cadmium, is like intensely bright. And the hue is like slightly more transparent and like slightly lighter. Like it feels more gem tone because you can see the white paper coming through, so it looks more lit up from the back. Anyway, that's what they look like. I knew I had this somewhere. I remember doing it. We have 3 months from the queue. Thank you. And 6 months from Ivar Schoenebeck. And 8 months from Dishnet. Thank you all. Tachi says it's close on the white, but so far on the gray. Yeah, it's really different on top of the gray. All right, so we're mixing up some yellow for this glass. Well, it's kind of orangey. Now I want this to be orange, like it's some sort of frosted orange drink, frozen. So I'm trying to mix my main color of the overall drink entirely. And then from there, I will take that and make modifications to make it lighter for the highlights and darker for the other parts. So what I'm doing is I have, let's see, primary yellow, primary magenta. And I'm putting some of that fancy yellow in it because it glows, like the pigment in that is a lot more intense. And I like the look of it, so I'm using it. And I'm not trying to tone these colors down any. I really do want them to pop, so I'm kind of going brighter than they should be, I think. Because I want this to be intense. That's the theme of this painting. Intensity. I appreciate you showing me that. I'm colorblind, so nod and smile. Yeah, I suppose red is difficult. Most people are red-green colorblind. The only one that looked noticeably different was red on gray. All the other comparisons look the same. Yeah, and I mean, you guys are also dealing with, like, over the internet and the camera and the lights. In person, though, they all look very different to each other. So, I don't know. Can you tell? Let's see if I can catch the light perfectly. Like the yellow, like the second yellow, the one closest to the red. Here, or this one. Like, it's more transparent, so you can see some of the gray, like, in this corner. Basically, the hues are more transparent. And the true pigments are a lot vibrant, more vibrant. How do I feel about this orange? I really like it. Okay, we're gonna put a sample in the sketchbook. The sketchbook that I was working in, we're gonna put a sample in there. And now we're going to mix up some different colors to go with it from it. So I have that. We're gonna add a little bit more yellow, maybe some zinc into that to lighten it. An anonymous gifter gifted a sub to Jace Book. Thank you. So I'm not moving all the way into pure white on the cup itself because that's going to be the highlight on the glass. I'm trying to paint the drink itself inside the glass for now. More yellow. M. Tappet says, what fruits do we have? We have pineapple, avocado, coconut, sliced open kiwi, and pomegranate. And this will be an orange slice with like a frozen orange drink. So here's our lighter color. And now we need a darker color. So we're just going to make it slightly more orange. I should probably throw some pyrrole in there instead of all this magenta. The kiwi used to be bigger. Kiwi did used to be bigger. Masay was so confused by Big Kiwi. I loved it. Pyrrole is very bright. Like, look at this. It's like high vis orange. Like it's almost neon, it's so orange. Okay, that's actually too orange. Just like, whoops. This'll work. I added some more yellow. All right, it is time to start filling in some of these base colors. So I'm going to start with my lightest one. And I lost the edge of the cup at some point, but that's okay. Like, I know this side is here because this side I did a good job on. Not losing the cup. Yeah, but I really lost it over here. Oops. I might need to put some white down first. Just because this blue is turning this really, really green. So I'm just putting some titanium white down kind of as a primer to get rid of this blue. And it's mixing with this yellow, but that's fine because it's going to be yellow. That's better. We can work with that. We have a 9-month sub from Brandon. Thank you, Brandon. It is a Brandon. Moose says the high the other day was 35. Today it's 45. Thank goodness. It was in the 40s the other day on Wednesday. Yesterday was in like the 50s. I think we had a high of 60. And so I went for a bike ride while it was warm. And that was nice. So this is my lighter color. And on top of the pink, it's actually quite dark. And you can see once I get down into the blue, it loses a lot of its brightness. And it's raining today here, or it's supposed to be. I don't know. This room has windows that are covered up. So I don't really get to see right now, but it looks miserable out. So I don't know if I'm gonna get out today. I might just do something inside for activity. It's sleeting in Michigan? I'm sorry. I know Wisconsin had snow on Halloween. I was talking to my dental hygienist the other day when I had my cleaning, and she was from like Jersey or something. And she was saying how she doesn't really miss the snow and shoveling either. So I really am just using one color on top of all this. It just looks like I'm not because of the underpainting. And this isn't the color it's going to be down here, but I wanted to get some of the yellow down here so that when I put down my shadow color, it's not as influenced by the purple. Alright, let's move into our darker colors. So this is the darker orange color I mixed up. So you can kind of see the difference. Maybe not on camera well. Cannot really punch in on this camera setup. Colored outside of my lines. Had to erase. So I'm going to pull this, Stephen says punching in on the setup isn't feasible, but that's an idea for a future setup if you continue to stream paintings. Yeah. That can be something we work on at some point. So I'm bringing this orange color into these shadow parts because it is my darker color. We'll bring some more of the lighter color into here, and I think I need to mix some white into this to make it even lighter. So I'm just trying to make the drink lighter here. Are we talking about eggnog now? I bought 2 things of eggnog about yay big. Like, what are they, pints? And I had most of both of them, and now I'm done for the season. That's all I needed. And then I was reminded how much I want to try homemade eggnog, because apparently it's much different, like if you do Alton Brown's recipe. And then I thought about that. I was like, oh, I should do that. But I'm sort of done with eggnog, so maybe closer to Christmas. All right, this needs glass highlights. So like where the glass itself would have the reflection. So I'm gonna switch to a small flat and start adding in some of that. So because my lights are coming from like the front here, we're gonna get a little bit on the rim up top. And I'm just using titanium white for this. Probably get a little bit of a reflection back here. Too much paint. That'll make a glob. I don't want that. And then it's going to get a highlight right here. Now, I'm not super happy with the right side of this cup. The left side, I think, looks really good. We have a 5-month resub from Zato. Thank you, Zato. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up more orange and hit my knee on the easel again. I think it just doesn't look symmetrical. I think that's what I did wrong. I think I just need to bring this out more. Because like the top part looks good. And it's hard because this gets covered up, right? That looks better. I have to kind of do this so I can see it. Now what I need to do is probably add a little bit more shadow, so I need the ultramarine blue. And now I'm not going to put pure ultramarine blue because that would be a mistake. I need to mix it with some of this orange to tone the orange down. So I'm taking like just the tiniest bit of blue and mixing it into some of the orange. and it's going to make it a little green, but that's kind of what I want. So this is just my shadow color, and I'm doing a little bit on the rim of the glass here. This is an intense song. Alright, I like this. I think I need to make a little bit more of it, just to bring in a little bit more shadow further down. And I should probably switch to a bigger brush if I'm being honest, but I'm not. Yeah, I should. This will be a mistake if I'm not careful. I think that helped a lot. Steven says, one of my long-term goals is to make a custom playlist of music that I curate for a chill stream. Yeah, that is definitely a goal for at some point. But like sometimes something like this is nice. Alright, glass looks good. Now it is time to paint Orange Slice. And what I need to do first is probably draw a little bit. So what I need to do is find the center of this, and I need my ruler for that. And this lovely center finding ruler can help me with that, although I don't necessarily need it. So I measured in 2 directions, like trying to find like the furthest points away to kind of start to figure out where center is. And it's an orange. It doesn't have to be perfect, but that's kind of where my center is. So we have the edge of the rind. And then we're going to have our segments. And these are never like perfect, right? So I'm looking at like this line I had here, just from paint, like that was pretty good to make a separate segment there. Steven says, you can turn off songs that are tonally opposite, but the keyboard is way over there. I can't reach. So my goal with this right here is to bring a little bit of inner glow to this orange. I also probably need to paint the centerpiece. And I can't do that when there's pink on the canvas right here. Just like this was turning green earlier, that's what I'm doing. I'm kind of just putting a little bit of white down just to block a little bit of that. And I'm putting down some of this pyrrole mixed with titanium on the edge here. Sapphire Rebecca says the white helps a lot. It does, but I can't use it everywhere because it defeats the purpose of my underpainting. So I just need to do it right where I need it to be a bit more true to how the paint actually looks. I didn't know this song was on here. But I love this. Vagabond says, we're going with a more tequila sunrise kind of thing. Yeah, what if you make it frozen? Like, blend it. So I'm working my way to lighter oranges, yellows towards the center. So this one's just a little bit lighter than the original outside orange color. And this is the same orange as in here. And now we're going to this yellow. I just dropped paint. Where did it fall? Somewhere not important or somewhere important? There it is. Not important. So I think I kind of went overboard on how much dark orange there is. I don't think it should be quite that dark. So we're going to tone that down a little bit. By painting some of our medium orange on top of it. So I'm darkening up the very center with some of the medium orange on purpose. So there's like a little bit of shadow around there. It'll make sense, I think, once I have the rest of it filled in. coming together. Dark Overlord says that drink looks so vibrant. Yeah, that was the hope, that if I start painting true colors, that it looks incredibly bright. And it's starting to do that, which is really nice to see, because like as much as I liked the vaporwave look we had, like this is gonna be neat when it's done. So next I think I need to paint, probably need to bring in some titanium white to start doing some of the details on the orange. So what I'm gonna do first is start to paint, actually, no, not titanium, zinc. I want zinc because it's transparent. All right, zinc white. So I'm going to start by putting in like the gross part of the orange. You know, the part that you don't like. Like not just the rind, but like the gross part. The pith? Yeah, the pith. Like the stringy bits. Like, I like oranges, but like, I have to sit there and get all of that off. I don't like it. But I feel that way about bananas too. At some point, I will come back in with more titanium to really make this show up. Because right now it's not. But what I'm trying to do is just tone down a little bit of this blue so that when I start putting the actual rind on, the orange part on the edge, that it shows up. So it's going to be messy for a little bit. But we're also going to start blocking in like the center part. If I want to chew my drink, I'd get boba. Lunar, do you not like pulp in your orange juice? Noah says liquids shouldn't have solids in them. See, that doesn't bother me. So I'm starting to bring in those lines. Because as I start to fill in the centerpiece, like each segment of orange is curved. So I need to know where those are. I'm starting to put those spokes in here. Fossick says, ice in drinks, am I a joke to you? See, I don't like to have ice in drinks. Like, I'll deal with it. But normally it just makes it too cold. I don't want it to be that cold. I think that's good for segments. Some of them are a little bigger. I mean, it's supposed to be, but like bigger than I want them to be. So now what I'm doing is I'm making like a U shape to connect the points of them to show me where the center of the orange is. Oh shoot, all of my ultramarine blue dried out. I really only had the tiniest drop on my palette, so of course it was going to dry out. Can I fix or revive it? No, it's totally dried out. I just add more. But like I opened the thing and just like tapped it to the palette just to put like, seriously, it's just like smaller than a, like this dot here on the palette, and that dried out. So I just added a little bit more. I need a smaller brush. If I'm doing detail work, I should switch. That would be a good thing. Anise says, imagine Steven or Josh trying to paint this blindfolded at Kahlo. Everything would be everywhere. Kind of thinking I want to switch to a liquid white for this part. Just to get some nice crisp lines. Oh, this is a good cover. This is fun. We have a 3-month resub from Dan. Hi, Dan. Dan, I'm painting. What am I not thinking about? That's what I'm not thinking about. I need to start bringing in the edge of the rind to connect it, because these curve each direction. Like so. It's starting to come together. Like, the fun part of painting to me is like looking at it and being like, oh look, it's finally looking like an orange and not just a toddler throwing paint on a canvas. Liberty says, hey, toddler paintings are nice too. I like my Poke Floats. Are you the one with it? We were just talking the other day about that painting. Becca says it was fun trying to replicate it in real time. I think that's one of my favorite things about that segment. Becca says, I'm loving the orange, by the way. I looked away and it's nearly done so fast. We're getting there. I put down, like, it's kind of yellowish on the outside. Vagabond says, I'm off to the store to get OJ for this drink. Anyone want anything? I wish I could have one after you make it. Alright, what is next? I think I need to start adding in a little bit of the pulp, because you can see a little bit of it. So, like, it's just some lines that catch. I think I need to go more yellow and not do these full highlights yet. And I think I also need some glazing liquid. To make it a little bit more transparent, because I don't want it to be overwhelming. I just want there to be a hint that the pulp is there. Yeah, that's much more like it. But I think I need a thinner brush, or need to get this one less goopy. Yes, this was the right call. So I'm doing kind of these like Y shapes. They're like teardrops almost, like they kind of come out and then around. They're like veiny, like spiderwebby something for all of like the pulp bits. God, can you guys even see that? It's so tiny. I've done like this much. These segments. Thank you, Team Riptide. You can see it good. They will get more highlights. These ones aren't done yet. Alright, now I need to add some more titanium white to give these actual highlights. I think that's too bright. Are we talking about sodas? 50/50 has always been a favorite of mine as a child. But it's not something you can find here. James says, I can't say I've ever heard of 50/50. I can only find it when I go to Wisconsin. Okay, this orange is starting to look really, really good. Does Woodman's have it? Woodman's had it last time I went to Woodman's. Alright, well, that is drying. Before I start putting actual titanium white on top, we're going to finish up this rind. I'm going to start by putting this yellowy orange down. That was probably too much paint. Let's try not to mess it up. I mean, I can use all of it on the canvas, but I don't want it to accidentally glob where I don't want paint to go. That helped a lot, honestly, even though it's nowhere near where I want it to be. Great. Let's darken it up. Nunshu says this painting is gonna look so tasty. I want an orange really bad right now. I went just a little too far right there, so I had to erase a little bit. That was too much. I was trying to do a little bit of a shadow with ultramarine. I put too much paint here, and now it's really chunky. So now I'm just finishing up the edge of the rind with some titanium white to bring in a little bit of highlight here. And some of the pith here does need to get brighter. And I'll probably pull out a little bit of liquid to do some more detail in the center because this heavy body is just way too thick. time to switch to liquid. The other thing we're going to do with this liquid is we're going to bring in a little bit harder lines here on the edge of this glass, because I can do a finer line with this. I think that helps. I'm trying to make the inside of this orange more fuzzy. I think that helps. made a mistake. I painted over the glass. I shouldn't have done that. I fixed it. I think the only thing I'm not super thrilled about is the rind. I think there's too much white paint, like here, and I think it needs to be slightly more orange brought into it. Just a little bit. I think that helped a lot. A little bit more. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Microwave Alistar says, I'm a perfectionist at heart and it complicates completion. It sure does. It makes it hard. Was there anything else I wanted to do on this orange? While I think about that, I'm gonna run my Patreon ticker. If you're new here, these are my patrons. These are the people who support me over on patreon.com, and there are different perks that come with different tiers of that. If you're interested in that, you can go to supportmal.com, one of which is Discord. We have a Discord. I think I need just a little bit more highlight up here. I still feel like it's not bright white enough too. So what I'm going to do is take my small brush and just do a little bit more. I'm trying to do like little dots on the left here for like the deckled orange. I just feel like it's not catching the light enough. And that is my problem with it. A little bit of this like plain heavy body helps a lot. And I'm putting it on a bit thicker, so it's actually a little 3D on the canvas. All right, I think I'm done messing with it. I'm not. That's better. I do think I need to just put a little bit more of the shadow on this cup here because it's blending into the orange. And before I lose this color to drying, I should just fix it. That's better. All right. Well, we need a raid message. While we're thinking about that, I don't know if anyone's actually streaming right now, because it's like 1:30 on a Friday. Oh, Steven says we can do a vlog raid. Steven, is there a vlog out? I have paint on my hands. Where did my towel go? Let's make sure all my paints are closed. Steven says, sure, let me release a vlog. Well, when you text me and say we can do a vlog raid, I expect the vlog is out. Ooh, I do like My Fruit Will Go On, because that song came up. I need my paint sheet, because all this paint is like pretty dry because I didn't bother to cover any of it. I'm just going to swipe it all onto this. Hi.
Hi. Yeah, I don't release vlogs in anticipation of you ending the stream.
Oh.
How will I know when you're going to end the stream? I release them
I don't know.
once you say you're going to end the stream.
Okay, well, I'm going to be ending the stream.
I just released it.
Okay, thank you.
But I wanted to test out...
yeah, did you want to try punching in?
Yeah, I don't know how... Because, like, so the camera will do it, and I don't know if it keeps resolution when it does it or not. So I figure I could try.
Okay.
So
You want me to... Here, let me turn this.
Did that keep... Oh.
It's not square.
Okay.
Can you move it?
Yes.
Other way. There we go.
So like...
There's a nice punch in.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something that you can do because it has to be done on the camera. But that at least gives people a chance to see it close up, and I think it's keeping the full resolution.
I think so too.
Maybe. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. It looks a little blurry. So maybe not. But...
Well, it's also not the exact focal plane of where I focus the camera. Which is more about here. Maybe? I don't know. It's good enough for stream quality, Dark Overlord says. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I focused your camera.
Radio Dread has pinned the vlog raid vlog. What vlog is that, Steven? The one after Ren Fair?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's 2 after Ren Fair.
2?
It's November 14th.
So that, what, Tuesday?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And November 15th is also done and will release later today.
Okay, the 15th. Is that hockey?
Hockey. Yeah.
That's hockey.
It's a 3 vlog day.
It's a 3 vlog day.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks everyone for being here. I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to be painting next. Again, I still have my blue and tan saved, and I don't want to lose that, so I kind of need to get some things done on this canvas before they dry out. So maybe this weekend sometime?
It's up to you.
I'm not sure which day. I'm thinking maybe Sunday right now.
Okay.
Working on some more during the day.
Yeah. You have painting, and I have editing, and Kep has eating.
Kep has eating.
We're all so busy.
So busy with the things that we do. All right, thanks everyone for being here. I'll see you tonight on Steven's channel for Tears of the Kingdom. Go check out the new vlog, and if you want to do a raid message on it, My Fruit Will Go On was really good. Where are you going? Oh, you're going there? Okay.
My Fruit Will Go... How's that song go?
Do, 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 do. Carlos's cover of it came up.
I was trying to remember where the lyrics "My Heart Will Go On" show up.
Ah.
Okay. I guess it's just hard to think about when there's other music playing.
Yeah, when there's Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. All right. Okay. Have a good night. See you guys for Tears of the Kingdom.